Safeties. And 1911 things. Welcome to NerdWorks. Today we are out at the range to talk about this, which is a Springfield 1911 A1 in 38 Super. So let's get to it. So if you don't know the history of this M1911, it was designed by legendary firearms designer John Moses Browning. This is a 38 Super Auto. Now Browning had already created a firearm using the 38 Auto. However, due to metallurgy and design, it was not at the power that the 38 Super is at. So the 38 Super is basically like a long 9mm, more or less, except for it has a semi-rimmed case, which can create feeding issues in double stack configurations. I believe it got used a little bit, but ultimately it fell out of favor because just nobody used it. That was until the late 70s, mid 80s, the rise of IPSC and USPSA. This gave people a way to get a little more ammunition in the magazines, because these magazines are single stack. And a standard single stack 45 ACP holds 7 rounds. A standard 38 Super single stack without the extension on the bottom holds 9 rounds. And you could load them to make major. So that's the round. Let's talk about this 1911s. The front sight and the grips are not factory. Those have been changed. When I got it, it didn't have a front sight. From my research on this 1911 was made in the early 90s by Springfield's Custom Shop. Interesting thing about Springfield's Custom Shop in the late 80s and early 90s, or maybe just the early 90s, I'm not sure, is that it was run by 1911 builder Les Baer. I'm not saying Les Baer built this particular pistol, but he was around. Fit and finish is really good. The trigger is not bad. I think it clocks in at 3.5 pounds or so, 3.5 pounds. This particular model uses a full-length guide rod, which is not what 1911s always do. Typically, they use a little stubby guide rod. Grip safety, single action only. And yeah, it's got a bunch of checkering on the front strap here. Mainspring housing is just straight. I added these grips, and then it didn't have a front sight when I got it, so I had a front sight put on it. So we're gonna see how it runs, because I haven't run this in a minute. Let's see how this goes. All right. .305, and I will almost bet the majority of that is the initial hit. Yeah, 178, a 30, a 30, a 24, a 22, a 21. I only put 3 rounds on target. All right, let's see how this goes the second time. Damn it. Safeties. And 1911 things. 154, 26, a 20, a 21, 21. Man. All right, let's check accuracy. So I'm gonna aim at the target. There's a bolt in the top, and I'm gonna hit that. It's got 1 hit on it, 10 yards away. That's not bad at all. So yeah, 1911. I'll look up if somebody has a video on Browning and or the 1911. I'll link it somewhere up here. But it's 38 Super. It's just an interesting cartridge. Today, it's largely used outside of the US in countries where you're not allowed to own military or police cartridges. So instead of 9mm, they'll use 38 Super, which is like a fast 9mm. So I don't understand that, but whatever. The other place that's used-ish is in USPSA Open Division. So you need to make major power factor, which is, you can do it with 9mm. It's called 9mm major. It's hard to do. Or it's not hard to do, it's just you're way over pressure. The 38 Super, though, has enough case volume and all of that you can make major with heavier bullets, and you don't have to worry about like how overpressure it is. You can pick up your brass, you can reload it, whatever. The only downside is because it's a semi-rimless case, it will sometimes have feeding issues. As always, if you like this, you want to see more of it, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the algorithm pick us up and continue to do more.